So after a few days in Salt Lake City visiting family, a long overdue reunion, I am now back on the road, and I'm currently just outside of Capitol Reef National Park in an overflow parking lot. And while this particular overflow parking lot is pretty nice, I mean, there's a number of spots here, there's fire rings, there's a bathroom, we want to find a new place. And if you're interested in following along, we thought that we would take you along on that journey and see if we can find a place that maybe is a bit more private. So if you're interested, stick around. So, why move? It's just a little packed here, that's all. It's just a little crowded. There's not a lot going on right now, but my guess is that much like last night, during the evenings, everybody's going to cram in here. Now, I am right next to, with just a matter of feet, to my neighbor. And if you look around, there's actually plenty of places to camp, but there wasn't last night. So my hope is that we can find another location that is a bit more spread out, right? And that still has a signal for me, whether that's Verizon or AT&T. Now, what I did this morning was I took out the binoculars and I looked around, sort of scouted out a lot of these buttes and plateaus to see if I could see some RVs, and then maybe head out that direction and explore. But my first stop is actually, I think it's called Bees Flat, and it's only a few miles away. Now, there are a lot of you who follow these type of van-related channels, you already know these resources. But there are about 4 or 5 different websites or applications where you can sort of get the skinny from other people about what to expect in these locations. And whether they have internet or if it's free or paid or whatever. So the location that we're going to right now, I think it only has 5 camp spots, but they are much farther apart. The other thing is that it's nice here because there are trees, but because the weather dropped down into the mid 70s, right up to the 80s, or low 80s anyway, I'm really less concerned with the shade at this point. It would have been critical a week ago, but less so now. So we're pretty flexible. So long as we get there, we're a bit more isolated, we've got an internet signal. And the other thing is that probably more so than any other time, I'm really anxious to get that drone up in the air. And, I got to tell you, I'm a bit reluctant to send the drone up in the air when I'm in such close proximity to other people. It's just a courtesy, I think, if anything else. So I think that, if we can find that perfect place, we'll get plenty of drone footage, and, I'll be able to get some work done over the next few days. The challenge is that the boys, they don't seem interested in moving. Whatever. They'll get with the program. Anyway, let's jump in this. I call it doesn't have a name, but because it handles like a manatee with wheels, I just call it the Blue Manatee, but whatever. So anyway, let's jump in the Blue Manatee. Let's head on over to Bees Flat and let's see if that location is going to do it for us. So let's go. So as we leave the overflow campground, you can tell that the roads to get in here are a bit bumpy. Admittedly, I probably took the worst rutted entrance or exit for this location, but the van has the clearance. It's just, it's just bumpy. But we get back on the highway and we head towards, I think I said Bees Flat, but it's Bees Lewis Flat. And it should be about 3 miles on down the road past this little lodge and village area up on the left. As you can see, I almost blew right by it. You know, fortunately, there's nobody behind me, there's nobody in front of me, and rather than just sort of spaz out and make this weird left, I was pretty cognizant that I probably would spaz out, so I've been looking behind me the whole time to make sure that as I spaz, there's no witnesses around. So this will be our little secret. Now this right here looks like an awesome place to camp. The problem is that, of course, it's full. There's a Class A here and a couple of other campers, and there's obviously no room for me, so we're going to go down the road a little bit. Now you see all these rocks here. I guess they're mining for, I don't know, for granite or for slate or for something around here, sandstone. I don't know exactly what they're mining, but you can see all of this stuff pretty well organized, and there's somebody camped out here. This just looks a bit rough to me. It looks more industrial in nature, so I'm going to spin it around. I saw a place just between this location and the location where we saw the Class A RV, and we're going to see if that works out. Well, I think we found our new camp. I think it was worth the half-hour adventure getting here. It wasn't even that, really. Probably more like about 15-20 minutes. But you know, I thought about relocating to this place just on the other side of this dirt road here. There's like a little hill, and from that vantage you can see a lot of these bluffs over here. But my concern is that that location that I would be parked, it appears to be undisturbed. And as a rule, for me anyway, should be a rule for everybody, but you don't disturb undisturbed lands. And where I am right now, this is appears to be a groomed spot. There's 2 fire rings. Don't have to worry about it. Now from here, I'm going to run across the street, take a look at the views. I'll show you those. And setting up camp is relatively easy. I set out a trash can. I set out one of my water jugs just to make a little bit more room inside the van. And that's really about it. My laptop is super easy. I'll just plug that in, and I think we're good to go. So even though I've shared with you some footage of the relocation, you probably don't have a lot to go on as far as the grander picture here. So check this out. So, after having been here a few days, what are my thoughts? Well, I think it's pretty awesome by any standard, free or otherwise. There are a number of campgrounds here that I wasn't planning on. I mean, I think that I had read that there are 5 campgrounds here, and that might be true when you take into consideration where that Class A was before, where I am, and then there are 2 spots sort of flanking me right now, so that's 5 or 6. The thing is that when you get to where that Class A was before, and that first campground that we had taken a look at, there is a road that turns to your right after the cattle guard. If you follow that road, there's some awesome camping spots down there. Fire rings, they're groomed, they look pretty sweet. So I think that you know, if you ever came out here and you were worried about trying to find a place to camp, just turn down that road and you should be in pretty good shape. So, what is next? Well, as much as I've enjoyed this location, I think we're going to relocate here in the next couple of days. We're actually going to head right over there. That is the half-dome looking area that you might be able to see. I'll see if I can get a better shot of it for you. That is the capital part of Capitol Reef National Park. So we're going to go enjoy the park for the day, and Beyond that, we're going to look for a resupply shortly thereafter. And then we're going to head down towards Grand Staircase Escalante National Park. Beyond that, probably Bryce Canyon, and then the Grand Canyon. Unless I change my mind, which I do all the time, but that's kind of the point. It's nice having an outline to deviate from, let me put it that way. Anyway, look, I'm Tim. I'm untethered. I'm digging every minute of this, most minutes anyway. And, you know, I didn't really do a great job, I don't think, of showing you the beauty that is in this area. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you soon. But check out this video footage that I took and leave a comment below and tell me what you think about this location. Thanks, and bye.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight.